again, Broncos country.
Really excited to chop up some Broncos with you all this week.
Bourbon, Broncos, and no BS.
Favorite time of the week, but not for the Raiders, Chargers, or Chiefs. So grab your brews in your fantasy league. We got that blue and orange blood that you bleed. The most loyal fans there ever could be. We are that mile high Broncos country.
Orange Weekly, fans, brews, and Broncos news. What's up, Broncos country? Welcome to another episode of the Orange Weekly Postgame podcast. Guys, we have, unfortunately, a lot to talk about. I really don't want to talk about it, but that's what we do here at Orange Weekly. We are going to break down the game, win, lose, or tie, goddammit. And we are going to put more effort into this than Teddy Bridgewater put into that tackle.
Yes.
So we got Jon and Rob again. My name is KevDan.
You had to start with that, Kevin.
I did.
You had to start with the fact that Teddy Bridgewater couldn't even put a foot out and tripped motherfucker. You know what, dude, Kevin? You know, this is what you get.
No, God! No, God, please, no!
Yep.
No!
That's, I kept saying that throughout the day. Just
Bro,
no, God damn it, no. God,
TV.
no.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. What play are you talking about? This is the news to me.
Don't even, Jon. Okay, guys.
Bite me.
Welcome to the podcast, everyone. Glad you're listening. If you haven't done so already, please go over to our YouTube channel, subscribe there. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter. And hit that share button, hit that subscribe button. If you're listening to the podcast on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, wherever you're listening to. Also give us a 5-star review. That helps us out a lot, and give us some feedback. So please go for that as well. Okay, let's just start at the beginning of the day. The day is new. We're still happy from the Cowboys win, right? And we're at the stadium, some of us. You know, what are your guys' thoughts going into the game?
I was like positive. I was honestly like, this is going to be a great game. We're going to, continue this dominance that we established after beating the Cowboys, which at the time was the number one offense in the league. And then the game started, and as always, it seems like we are Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and we just shit the bed. We absolutely shit the bed. Damn it! So not reasonable.
Yeah, right before the game, I think cautiously optimistic was my feeling. After the Dallas game, where we're going to see the same team that played against Dallas, or were we going to see the team that showed up for pretty much every other week of the season? And well, we got our answer pretty quickly. Opening drive points for the field for getting the field goal, and with the Eagles. Then a quick negative -1 yard drive for the Broncos, 3 and out, and then a touchdown drive for the Eagles. And it just felt like from that point on, it was just another one of these games for us. And 10 games in, I'd say we've had one good game in 9 pretty mediocre games. Even the wins don't even feel that great. And thank God we have a bye week. That's all I can say.
For a lot of different reasons, to include health.
I can't take the pain. It hurts too bad.
Yeah. my liver might get some of a break next Sunday. Get some healthy guys after the bye. I don't know. Maybe the coaches can do some inspiration in 2 weeks. I don't have any faith in that, but hey, you never know.
No.
Just a side note, we here at Orange Weekly absolutely recommend everybody drink responsibly. Use Uber, use Lyft. Don't follow
Yes.
Henry Ruggs' fucking
please not.
Path.
Yes. Good call out there. Good call out there. Okay, before we go on, there's not a lot to be thankful for when it comes to the Broncos' performance. However, we do have something to offer you all that you can be thankful for. So now this Thanksgiving, be thankful for family, food, and free bets. That's right, at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. They have a Turkey Day no-brainer that you cannot miss. New customers can bet just $1. That's 100 cents, if you would. Nickels, dimes, however, whatever combination, $1 on any on any Thanksgiving NFL game, and win $100 in free bets if either team scores a point. If Sportsbook isn't available in your state yet, you can still get in on the Thanksgiving NFL action. Go ahead and make your first deposit, and you can play free for millions with DraftKings Daily Fantasy Football Contest. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. Best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. Now, here's what you need to do to get in on this. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code TPPN. Bet just $1 on any Thanksgiving NFL game and win $100 in free bets if either team scores a point. Again, that's promo code TPPN this Thanksgiving at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Of course, you must be 21 years or older in a state that supports sports betting. New customers only. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Okay, boys, back at it again. I think, even being in the tailgate area and talking to fans before the game at the stadium there, it was the same cautious optimism going into the game. Everyone's saying, look, there's no excuse for us to lose this game. Based off how we played against the Cowboys. Everyone saw this as, okay, the team turned the corner. They've figured it out. They've proven that they can do it on the road against a very formidable opponent that was essentially very healthy. They had all their key pieces there, and now we're facing, at the time, the 3-6 Eagles. There's a lot to ride on this game. And so there's every reason for the Broncos to go out there and get a big win at home to put them, in a very good record going into their bye week against a 3-6 team. But that just did not materialize from the very, very beginning. And I think one of the best tweets I saw yesterday all day, because I'm just going to keep alluding to it, the tweet said, "I wish I could give up on the Broncos as easily as Teddy gave up on that tackle." I just can't do it. I'm not going to give up, but I wish I could sometimes.
Wait a minute. Don't you have to fucking try to give up?
You have to
try. You didn't even try.
You didn't even try.
I could have made the fucking tackle. And
That's
I'm
a fair
5'8".
That's a fair point.
I don't even care if he makes the tackle. Like, at least try to make the tackle and hopefully slow him up enough if you're not going to tackle him so that someone else can get him.
And then Teddy Bridgewater's response was, "I was trying to turn the ball back inside, away from the sideline,
so somebody else could make the tackle."
Right. Are you shitting me? You are a football player first. You hit that sumbitch.
Yeah.
What the hell?
You are a professional athlete. Make a freaking play.
How
at that point in the game, that was the turning. That was absolutely the turning point in the game. We were still only a touchdown down, as bad as we were playing. We were driving previously, and that if he had made a tackle, at least it gives our defense a chance to keep us in the game. That touchdown absolutely gutted us, and here we are.
I'd say let's just get this out of the way, because this is obviously the highlight of the game. I'm going to keep talking about it until we get to the third quarter in our discussion, but let's just get it out of the way now. Okay. Here's a lot of people making the very accurate point that the fumble shouldn't have happened to begin with. There's a lot to blame on Melvin Gordon, and 100% that should not have happened. Gordon, I mean, that's a huge play. He had the first down yardage, zero ball security, essentially, right? I don't know how. And then in like the post-game press conference, Fangio said, we're going to really have to emphasize ball security. With somebody like Melvin Gordon, you should not have to emphasize ball security. It's not like he's a rookie.
No.
You know?
And he doesn't have fumbling problems, right? That's what we keep being told, yet for whatever reason, in key moments of the game, we see fumbles out of him.
Yeah. And he
two
had
hands on the ball, cover it up, and squeeze like your life depended on it. It's not that difficult.
Nope. So why is this even something that we have to emphasize, right? Anyway, so that being said, it's obvious that fumble should not have happened, right? There's a lot of blame on Melvin Gordon right there to begin with. However, then we get to I'm calling him standby Teddy from now on, because all he does is just stands by and watches the action happen, right? Some people are saying Teddy business decision, Bridgewater, whatever the case. Okay. Here's what really grinds my gears, if you will, about this. Going into this preseason and training camp and everything, we heard over and over and over again about how fantastic of a guy Teddy is, how great of a leader he is, how he brings that leadership to the team. And that was a big thing because that's something we've been lacking for so long now, right? And, you know, John, you and I being in the military, and I think just anyone who's had a boss, you know, somebody in a leadership position or has been in a leadership position can talk to this. You can talk the talk all you want. You can say all the right things, but you only get a few key moments to really prove yourself if you're going to back that up with your actions. Going back to Peyton Manning, now let's kind of reverse this a little bit. I'm not saying Teddy is Peyton Manning. What I'm saying here, Peyton Manning, I can pull up a number of videos where Peyton went in there and it wasn't great, but he would try to block, you know, just in his time in Denver. Now, here is a guy who we could probably very easily understand if that had been Peyton Manning. Say, yeah, dude, you're old. You're, you know, you had a big surgery. You only have a number of years left. We're trying to get you a Super Bowl. Like, okay, that, you know, first off, we'd be in a much better position than we are now. I think there'd be not as much backlash because it's Peyton Manning, right? But you saw him talk the talk, but then he would walk the walk as well. He'd go out there and he'd put his body first. He'd put his team up before himself. Now you have Teddy here who's saying all the right things, but in a key moment, in a pivotal game, just decides to stand there. And I'm sorry, I don't care at what point or whether today, yesterday, next week, before the game, at the end of the season, what else he has to say. He has lost absolutely all credibility with me. And I guarantee you in that locker room, he has lost all credibility with them as well. Because if he goes up to any other player and says, man, you need to try a little harder, they're going to laugh in his face. And they're not going to say that publicly. Just, you know, being in the Air Force, there are some commanders and some bosses I didn't like very much. Not very good leaders. I'm not going to say that publicly. I'm going to, you know, talk amongst my friends with that and share my opinions, right? They're going to say that in locker room. But what we have here now is a man who is shown that as not only quarterback, but the captain and the leader of the team has zero legitimate leadership skills. And I'm sorry. So this is my soapbox here, but this is where we're at with this team. We have zero leadership when it comes to the quarterback. We have zero leadership when it comes to the coaching staff. And you can talk about Fangio. You can talk about Shermer. You can talk about Tom McMahon, any of them. You have zero. There's no owner of the team. Pretty much the only person that might be leading us is Peyton, but his hands are tied right now. And so who knows? Maybe he's a good leader or not. We don't really know. But this team is absolutely leaderless. Done.
Kevin, I agree with you 100% on everything you said. However, unfortunately, this week we can't blame Shermer because his ass was at home with the Rona. So, yeah, like Teddy Bridgewater.
That's play calling.
No,
that's
absolutely,
just play calling.
Absolutely. Yeah. But Teddy Bridgewater, like, Peyton Manning would at least fell down and tried to tackle him. Like, I would have been perfectly fine if Bridgewater would have, like, tried to tackle him and missed. Okay, well, at least he tried. You know, at least he went out there. He gave it a fucking effort. But no, he didn't even fucking do that. I watched that play like 15 times today because going into work today and getting beat by the Eagles, I had to eat so much goddamn crow, bro.
Yep.
Not even funny.
Yep.
You know, it's absolutely, and I just, again, it's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It's a tale of two cities. You have Denver that dominated fucking Dallas, and then they rolled over on their fucking backs, you know, for the Eagles. The Eagles! For the love of God! I'm scared. I'm legitimately scared that we are going to give Detroit their first fucking win this year. I'm legitimately scared.
Let me phrase it this way. And John, I'm going to ask you, if you're the Detroit Lions who can't even win when they don't lose, okay?
Don't even get me started.
If you're the Lions and you're looking at the rest of the schedule, do you say amongst you and your other Lions fans, there's maybe one team that we can beat this year, and it's the Broncos?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, why would any team be scared of us except like for the one game against Dallas? That's really the only game to look at and say, wow, they really showed up that week. But every other week, no reason to be scared of us at all. I wouldn't be surprised if we lose to the Lions. I won't be surprised if we lose to every team for the rest of the season. I think it'll go back. We'll get one, maybe 2 wins.
Yep.
It goes back to sample size for me. We played 10 games. We showed up once. Maybe get 1, maybe 2 games like that again this season. But at the end of the day, that's not a playoff team. That's a team that is going to have a new coach, new quarterback, whole new coaching staff next season. So unless they prove me wrong, and again, they have 2 weeks now to try and fix something. But back to your point with Teddy Bridgewater, his leadership capabilities is going to be questioned until it's not. And that may be when he's not on the team anymore next season. After that. And the way he tried to like back it up. Now today he backed himself up again and just called himself out and said, yep, it's totally on me. Again, saying the right things, but you got to prove it on the field. And, you have the rest of the season to prove it. You have 7 games, and most of that's in the division. So show it. We've been asking for it all year. Got it last week. And then we're right back where we are. It's just classic Broncos, right? We get our hopes up. They get our hopes. They're flying high and then get pivot right back down to earth. Yeah, which is one of the frustrating things about being a Bronco fan.
Yep. Can I ask a question? Is this how the Lions fans and Jaguars fans, and for a very long time the Browns fans felt every fucking week? Because if that's the case, I can't fucking take it. For the love of God, we went from scoring 30 points to getting 30 points scored on us.
Yep.
What in the blue hell?
Yep. Yeah. An Eagles team that rushed for 214 yards. They're both their running backs, Jordan Howard, Boston Scott, averaging close to 7 yards a carry combined there. Ridiculous. Like they threw the ball, I think, 3 times in the second half because they didn't need to. They just ran the ball down the Broncos' throat. And I mean, that doesn't even go back to Bridgewater. That now we're talking about defense, I have so many question marks about the defense after this game.
Right. I don't know how you're Fangio and you see what the Ravens did to us at home several weeks ago and how they were able to run all over us with a very mobile quarterback. And, you could probably look at what the Dolphins did to the Ravens on Thursday night and say, okay, well, they blitzed a lot, right? Okay, so blitzing works against a team that runs a lot. Yeah, but the difference is the Dolphins, were very mindful of the running lanes and making sure that those weren't being, bust wide open. And we didn't do that at all. So we're bringing the pressure probably to a point that's very predictable because there was, I think maybe it was a third and long or something like that. And I could tell, hey, we're bringing everybody. Yeah. And they had the screen set up and went down and got the first down. Like it was nothing to them. Right. So very, very predictable, but we could not get the running lanes closed and taken care of at all throughout the entire game. And so, yeah, you can, speak to some execution, but there's a lot on the coaching staff because now you face 2 similar teams in the Eagles and Ravens and how they approach the offense. And they can't make it happen, man. They can't stop it.
Yeah. I think it makes me question, like, when we go up against guys like Jalen Hurd, guys like Jackson, guys that are, I mean, you can call them run first type quarterbacks, even though Jackson's threw for over 300 yards against us and then 400 yards the next week. But those type of players, it just seems like we do not know how to game plan for at all. Because we stopped Jackson in the run department, but didn't matter because he was throwing it all day for us, against us.
Yep.
Well, and and what I don't understand, and John, I agree with you. We stuffed Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah,
we stuffed
under 60 yards.
The rushing guru in freaking Dallas, and then Philadelphia comes in and they just ran. Dude, we had 18 rushing plays, 18 rushes to their 40. 40. 4-0. Like, did we not say last week that was the key to winning? Run the fucking ball. Sorry.
No.
I'm going to bring it down to like a 4, but run the damn ball.
Yeah.
A 4 out of 5 or 4 out of 4 or what?
Bro, like, and the fact that Javonte Williams only had 8 carries, 8 carries for 48 yards when he had a 100-yard rushing game last week. It's completely unacceptable.
Yep.
Is Shula dumb? Like, I'm not, I know his lineage, his family, is very well respected in the NFL, but shit. Shit.
Yeah. So definitely, anybody calling for Shermer to get fired this season, in the season, it's not, I mean, if there was a sliver of that happening, we would have heard about it today on Monday, and that's passed. But even then, after that game, it just is not going to happen. So.
Yeah. But this, I mean, anytime we lose like this, I mean, look at it. We rarely rush for 20 times in the game in these losses because we fall behind and it goes straight to the passing game. And I don't know. And it's going behind, but not like detrimental. We were still only down by a touchdown in that third quarter when that big play happened, but we're still pretty much abandoning the run at that point. And it's frustrating.
Nope, completely agree. It's
averaging 5.3 yards a carry as a team.
Yeah.
That's and John, to your point, Teddy's numbers, I mean, they weren't spectacular, but they weren't terrible. He was 22 for 36 for 212 yards. You look at compared to Jalen Hurts, he was 16 for 23 for 172. But again, it's just the fact that when you look at the receiving, the one player that had the most receptions was Jerry Jeudy with 6. 6! Like, that's just completely asinine. I don't understand it. I really don't. And I'm telling you, I'm going to start the petition. Get Jared down there to coach because these motherfuckers just don't know what the hell they're doing.
Give Vance Jared on the field. Yeah, and
but they have to put an Orange Weekly logo in the end zone.
Well, yes, that's a given.
That's a requirement. But we've been asking for it all season. Get the tight ends involved, and they finally did it. And
they did.
They had a vast majority of our receiving yards. And well, if this is the product when we get our tight ends involved, then screw it. We don't need the tight ends anymore. Go back to something else because it just wasn't working.
Yeah. Yep.
John's like, fuck it, leave the tight ends out. Just
I mean,
run the goddamn ball. Fuck everybody else.
Okay. Before we get into, I guess, a broader coaching discussion really quickly, for those who are watching us when we're live on YouTube, we usually save the comments for the end of the show. So make sure that you stick around and we'll get to your viewer comments. If you're listening to this on one of the podcast sites of Google Play, iTunes, Stitcher, again, thanks for listening. You can check out all of our other shows that are very interactive. So our Monday night, I always start with Monday night. Orange Weekly After Dark starts after Monday Night Football with Jason. Then you got the Bourbon Broncos No BS show Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Our pregame show and 1 hour before kickoff, our halftime hash show. Those are all pretty much essentially based on viewer interaction. So come to those shows, post comments. We'll talk to you throughout the shows. You can find that on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. And then don't forget about the pregame podcast as well. They'll of course be taking a week off as this is the bye week, and then we'll be taking next week off here as the postgame podcast, and so will be no postgame to talk about. Okay. Now, funny story I heard of today on my drive home because I could have, listened to music or something to cheer me up and take my mind off of Broncos, but no, I decided to listen to Broncos talk and, feel the pain, even more.
Pour salt in the wound, Kevin. Pour salt in the wound.
Huh?
Exactly, right? It's like I might as well just punish myself while I sit in traffic. And anyway, so funny story. Mike Kisla, who is probably the biggest fan of Orange Weekly. I don't know why he blocked us. I think that was a mistake. He blocked us on Twitter. Don't know why. He loves us. Anyway, apparently, right after the Cowboys game, so he had written an article about basically why Fangio needs to go, listing all these reasons. Apparently, Fangio didn't like that. Immediately after the Cowboys game, long story short, they get to texting, which I didn't think Fangio knew how to text, but he's texting, and was essentially gloating and saying, well, I guess you can cross the Cowboys offensive coordinator off the short list for the new head coach. And what happens this next week? What do you guys think? Did Fangio essentially get his own name crossed off as head coach of any other place?
Look, I know if Jared was here, he'd be supporting the coaching staff because he's a coach himself. But holy hell, man, come on. My 12-year-old son could call a better game than Fangio. And that's saying something.
And here's my thing. Even with the play calling aside, you look at the culture that Fangio and company have built. And that is a much bigger problem when it comes to, I'd say that's a more foundational issue. It doesn't matter if you call a perfect game. If the culture you build within the building is crap, which it is within the Broncos organization, it doesn't matter how good, you are at play calling. And I think that's why Fangio has essentially crossed his name off the list. Not him personally, but anybody else looking at him is going to say, I don't want you as the head coach. I think he has 7 games left as a head coach. And after that, he'll go back to being a coordinator. And
a good coordinator.
Oh, and a good coordinator. Best of luck to him. I honestly don't see him being regarded as a defensive guru again.
Not
at
the
least
next 7 games look the same way that the rest of the season has.
And I can't see how they would. Again, unless it's a fluke and they all decide to show up for a game. But
wait a minute. Fangio is a defensive-minded head coach, right?
Yeah.
Right? The Eagles ran for 214 yards on us.
Yeah.
That is not a defensive guru.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Coach.
But that's what he was regarded as. Mm-hmm.
Vance Joseph sucked as a head coach. Absolutely sucked. He went back to calling defense, and now Arizona isn't. Their offense isn't super great, but their defense is pretty decent.
I don't know. Carolina and Cam Newton just handed them their second loss of the season pretty handily. But
don't even get me started on Cam Newton.
But I think it goes back to great coordinator, not a great head coach, and he's still trying to do the coordinator job. But you kind of have to take a step back when you're the head coach. And it's just too much for him, it feels like, because he's still calling the plays on defense, and it seems like he gets lost in that, and then it turns into a bad product, both defensively and for the whole team, in my opinion. I think if he goes back to a defensive coordinator role, he'll become that defensive guru again. I don't really have a doubt in my mind, because that's what we've got in the last 2 years. It seems like this year, knowing that his job is on the line, is just all hell is breaking loose, it seems like.
No, people have figured out his system too. Could be that. So I would expect that he would adjust.
Right.
But what we've seen through the season is teams have figured out his scheme for sure.
Which we thought we got last week against Dallas.
Yeah. Right.
We thought we were back. And it's like, nope.
Let me ask you this one.
So damn painful.
Let me ask you this one. Who is the worst head coach the Broncos have had?
McDaniels by far.
Yeah, I also
McDaniels
back
still,
McDaniels.
still.
McDaniels
Okay.
dismantled our team.
Okay.
Like, are you kidding me?
I mean, this team's going to be pretty much dismantled after the end of this season too. So,
It's
I
true.
would have killed the kid, Peyton Hillis. That white boy can run.
yeah, that's true.
No, it's always going to be McDaniels. Although you almost have to give him credit at this point because without McDaniels, we don't have that Super Bowl.
You know what? That's true.
Without him dismantling the
Indirectly,
Broncos, and then
indirectly,
LA coming
without
in
him.
and dismantling what McDaniels did.
Indirectly, without him.
Way to throw a monkey wrench in my rant, you.
Yeah.
So thank you, McDonald's. Yeah, I'll call him McDonald's. It's fine.
Yeah, McDonald's.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
I'd hate him.
Yeah, he makes a much better villain.
I
on
love
the,
that.
Patriots.
Oh God. I keep thinking like we need to go back to talk about the game, but I really don't want to. Let's see. Special teams. Okay, I heard a joke today.
Special teams offensive line.
Well, it's kind of like that. It's kind of political, but it's okay. It's a good joke. Once climate change and global warming take over, only a few things on Earth will survive: cockroaches and Tom McMahon keeping his job.
Hashtag get the hell out of town, McMahon. Damn it.
Again, another pivotal play in the game. We make that.
Yep.
If it's not blocked, it's we're down 20-13 at that point. Now we do get a field goal on the next drive. Would have made it 20-16. Again, a totally different game.
Right. Now some people will say, well, the coach wasn't out there. It was the player. And yeah, Draymond Jones, terrible execution on his part. The Eagles didn't do anything abnormal on that play. Just Draymond Jones just executed that play, that defensive play terribly and let them right through. So it doesn't matter how quick they got that ball snapped and placed. That was going to get blocked the way he executed that play. But that does go to Tom McMahon in, his coaching and his setting these players up for success, which is essentially when it comes to special teams, every week, every game, like I guess, except for even in the Dallas game, because that kickoff, they ran it back like 50 yards, basically, like every week there's some special teams blunder that we got to bring up.
Yeah. I'm just sick of talking about McMahon, to be honest with you.
Does he get a job after this? Does anybody out there hire him?
I don't know.
Yeah, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah. There you go.
Hell, maybe the Detroit Lions will hire him. Who knows? So wait, Kevin, I got to bring up. So you brought up the Detroit Lions, not winning, but also not losing.
Right.
So Evan Foxy, who's a part of the Pat McAfee show, he's a huge Lions fan, and he posted a video of him like freaking out, like, we didn't lose a game. And he's running outside. And he slides down this hill. I literally quote tweeted him, and I said, Foxy, a tie is not a win. I guess it's not a loss as well, but it's still more of a loss, bro. Just saying.
It's still more of a loss than a win, but I
No
guess
response.
if you're them, yeah, of course not. I guess if you're them, you don't have anything else to celebrate this season, so you might as well take what you can get. I'm surprised there wasn't anything during their bye week saying we didn't lose this week, right?
Yeah, well, that's what we're going to be able to say this week. We didn't lose.
You know what? This is very true. Very true. I do want to give a shout out to Debbie and Baki, who are watching us live on YouTube. Again, everybody out there, please go subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us. You can find all our videos there and whatnot. This show is this and one other show, our Orange Weekly Backstage, which is later on Tuesday nights, are the two special shows we do on YouTube only, at least when doing live. So make sure you follow that so you can get notified when we are live on YouTube.
For an update, we are at 76 subs. We are getting closer to that 100.
Need to get that 100 so that it can be youtube.com/Orange Weekly or something simple versus youtube.com/T5U WXT. I don't even know what it is. Something crazy.
I don't know. That had a nice ring to it.
You making up a Terminator number? What
Yeah,
are you
pretty
doing?
much. Yeah, it's essentially what it is. Okay, you know what? Forget the game. It's too much to talk about. Let's move this way. Look, I know we alluded to it a little bit ago, but realistically, I mean, what do you see this team doing after the bye week? If you are Fangio, and let's say that you're competent, add that little factor in there.
Yeah, there's a lot of hypotheticals.
It's a hypothetical. Okay. If you're competent and you're Fangio, what is your goal, realistic goal for this team for the rest of the year?
Well, during the bye week, I would read calling offense for dummies, number one.
I said assume he's competent. No, I said assume he's competent.
And in that fact, I would still read calling defenses for dummies, number two. I don't know, man. Figure your shit out. Let's get people healthy. Let's come up. Our opponent directly after the bye week is it's the Chiefs.
Chargers.
All right, I was backwards.
Then Chiefs.
So let's spend the extra week game planning for the Chargers. Like they have a competent run game. They have a second-year rookie?
Yeah, he's second year
quarterback.
Yeah.
Talented. Again, still a second-year quarterback. And let's like I said, spend the time on the game plan and come up with a competent game plan that actually freaking works.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I'm going to try to lay off the F word, but damn it, I'm frustrated.
You're doing a terrible job.
You're doing a terrible job.
But I appreciate it, to be honest. I appreciate
Hey, I'm trying more than Teddy Bridgewater's ass did.
This is true. Stand by Teddy. Yeah.
But realistically, okay, if we're taking your hypothetical here, Kevin, and this what his expectation should be, look, we are a game out of the lead of the AFC West. If we are 5-5 right now, we should look. If we go back in time when we were 3-4, and you were going to tell me that we were going to be 5-5 at the bye week, I would have thought I'd have a different feeling right now.
Mm-hmm.
But after that Dallas win, I've really had it's just all over the place. I'm bipolar here with the Broncos.
It's like the Colorado weather.
Yeah,
75 today, and then it's going to be 37 on Wednesday.
If that Dallas thing wasn't a fluke, we should be competing for a playoff spot. Now, realistically, in my own head, I know that the team that I've seen a majority of weeks is not that playoff team.
Yeah.
So again, I'll say it again. I kind of like the idea that for him to keep his job, he's got to show up against the AFC West. He's got to prove it against the AFC West. I think it's only fitting for him to lose his job because he still sucks against the AFC West. And I'm honestly concerned that every single team in this AFC West is going to make us look like a joke, like the Raiders did when we played them. Because if history tells us anything over the last 3 years, we don't play well against the AFC West.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, look at the Chiefs pulling out a 45 point game against the Raiders.
Yep.
And they could be back. They could be back. They could be out of their funk.
Out of the three teams, the Raiders might be the only team that we have a chance in beating. Mm-hmm. I don't see us beating the Chargers. I don't see us beating the Chiefs. I almost don't see us beating the damn winless Detroit Lions.
Yep.
It's embarrassing. The players should feel embarrassed. They went from a top performance against Dallas to we're a dumpster fire, and we have no idea what the hell's going on.
Yeah, these are facts, and I'll take it from George Payton. We're a 5-5 team, but it feels like a 2-8 team.
Yeah. Where did he say
basically?
that?
Well, he said 1-7 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
I just
gotcha.
I
didn't see
along those lines.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It was after the Washington win.
Somebody tweeted out. Basically, it said, per Broncos source, George Payton is the angriest I've ever seen him. And I retweeted like, well, I sure as hell hope he wasn't like hugging people and high fiving them. Like, what else would he be? Like, okay, good. He's pissed off that we lost. Like that. Good. Like, what are you trying to tell me?
I would hope he's pissed off with the performance. I mean, where does
everybody should be pissed off?
As far as Peyton not showing up, where does this rank for the year?
Yeah, from Peyton all the way down to the damn equipment manager. Everybody should be pissed off right now.
Mm-hmm. I do think we should create a GoFundMe for Peyton Manning to give standby Teddy some tackling and hitting lessons. I would donate to that.
I would love to see that on Peyton's place.
Right? Like, hey, bro, I'm going to show you how to hit somebody.
So what happened is you threw an interception and you see the guy coming at you. And so all you got to do is just kind of lay down and throw yourself in the way. Like, that's exactly how that segment would go.
Yep. Short segment.
Yeah.
Or you know that SNL skit where Peyton throws the ball at the back of the kid's head and knocks him down?
Bro, that
just replace that kid with Teddy.
me.
And I just I don't care. At this point, I just want to see Peyton. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I miss Peyton. I miss those years.
I'm okay
This
if we
is
just
terrible.
talk about Peyton Manning the whole time whenever we have a game like this.
You know what? That's fair.
In the
Yeah,
postgame.
remind us of the happy moments, right?
Yeah. Just go to your
Bro,
happy.
that SNL skit kills me where he's like,
Ugh.
just catch the ball. Oh,
Come on,
my
get open, get
gosh.
open. Oh,
You
God.
suck.
Oh, that's going to be good 50, 60, 70 years from now. So,
Oh, yeah. So
I'll probably still laugh my ass off at it.
yeah.
So Kevin, what vacation plans do you have for the next week? Taking some time off here to recuperate.
Oh, I mean, I can only cry so much. And
Well, you got to stay
I would-
hydrated, Kevin. You got to stay hydrated.
So, yeah. I don't have any plans.
No plans?
I
No plans for the week
think
off?
other than just finding a dark, quiet corner to curl up in and sob where nobody can bug me, and hopefully let the pain just drown itself out, and I'll be back and go Broncos by the end of the month here.
If that's what you're doing for the next 2 weeks, I have some breaking news for you, but you might be doing that for the next 2 months.
That's true. No.
Extend his dream of pain, John.
The funny thing is, here at Orange Weekly, it never stops. So I don't know what time off you're talking about. Other than next Monday, we won't do a podcast.
Yeah, that's literally it.
And I'm going to be sitting there like watching football because, well, it's like football night. So
Yeah.
what else am I going to do?
And it's like, wait a minute, this doesn't feel right. We're normally talking about what the hell am I gonna do?
Our group
Yeah.
chat's usually blowing up with angry texts.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's gonna be a quiet text day on Sunday.
It is. It's I don't know. What you guys got any plans for bye week blues?
Nothing really. Probably gonna. Nothing really. I recently had my son for 4 days, so got that good amount of time in. But I don't really have anything. I mean, get prepared for the Chargers, I suppose.
Yep. Oh, John, you and I are going to that game.
Yes.
And to be honest, the fact that Fangio's record at home is so terrible, it makes me more concerned when we play teams at home.
Right? What is that?
Like I would be looking
Where's
at
that freaking? Oh my gosh, where's our home field advantage?
and and a reporter asked that today to Fangio and said, is there any correlation? Have you figured out why when you're at home and you have such a loud crowd that you cannot win at home, or at least the majority of the time? And he said, well, we've looked into that, but we haven't found any correlation. One, I doubt you've looked into that. Like, what did you get a team of scientists together or something? Like, no, you probably didn't even freaking think about it, right?
Just be
You
better.
know what home field
Be better.
advantage I miss is when we had Tebow.
Yeah.
That dude put me through more cardiac arrests in the last 2 minutes of the game than
Right.
any quarterback ever.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least with Tebow, you didn't really have to pay attention the first 3 quarters.
Right.
You really had to watch the fourth.
Mm-hmm.
It was like the fourth in the last 2 minutes. You were like,
Yeah.
holy crap, how did he do it?
But honestly, that's how I feel half of these games anyways. It's like we only play 1 quarter every game,
Mhm.
except against Dallas. So it'd be great to turn things around. It'd be great if next time we're doing the post game that, we had a similar result against Dallas. Now we're all excited and we're on the uphill again. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't see
We
it
won a
happening,
divisional
but I heard
game.
the same thing against Dallas. So,
but that's kind of looking forward 2 weeks here. Obviously, we'll see what the Chargers do next week. But after starting out 4-1, they've lost 3 of the last 4 games. So they are now 5-4, and they barely beat the Eagles. And I know the Eagles just blew us out of the water, but they barely beat the Eagles.
that's not a good sign for us.
Right?
Hey, Fangio,
just
study
lost.
the game against the Chargers.
Yeah. Well, and they just lost to the Vikings.
Yeah.
So, they're looking for some positive momentum as well. And again, the fact that we're at home, like, one, I fully expect that just people aren't going to show up. There were 6,000 no-shows at Mile High for this game. I expected to go back up to over 10,000. Yeah, there were still a lot of. I figured after the Dallas game, people would be packing the seats.
Yeah, that is shocking to me.
6,000. Yep.
Well, I mean, if there was ever a time to have optimism this season, that was it. Game. I'm shocked that there were 6,000 open seats.
So what you're saying, Kevin, is I should fly out there and hope that people don't show up so that I can get a seat.
Oh, I guarantee you can. Dude, after this last loss, you can probably go on SeatGeek or whatever.
Man. Yeah, tickets
and get some really cheap seats.
Yeah. What game was it that there was like $20 tickets that couldn't be sold?
Was that the Halloween game?
Yeah. Yep, that's what it was.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to check my schedule for that Chargers game.
Might as well, man. Baki says in our live chat here, is just me or after losses like this, you tend to not wear your Broncos gear for a couple days out of shame. Now, the only thing with that is my wardrobe is 98% Broncos gear. So I have to because I have nothing else. There's no real other options for me.
Kevin has his dress clothes and everything else is Broncos. Kevin, just tell me you're not one of those guys that just wears sweatpants all the time.
Oh, no, not all the time. I mean, during the summer, I'll wear like shorts and stuff, but
my dad wears sweatpants all the time.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with comfort, Rob.
Yeah, you're at home. You're comfortable. Do whatever you want, man.
He goes out to Walmart in sweatpants, bro.
God, no.
Well, no. You can dress however you want at Walmart, though. That's just a rule.
Damn it, John, stop with the monkey wrenches.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to help you out, Rob. It sounds like you're getting way too dressed up for Walmart.
Yeah,
probably.
Suit and tie.
Have you seen people of Walmart.com?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. There's a reason there's a website called that.
There is.
Because you can literally wear anything you want there.
Okay.
Anyway,
last, I wanted to ask you all what your thoughts are on, does Teddy deserve to be benched or not? But I mean, I think it's a pointless conversation. We know he's not going to get benched. Just because Fangio wants nothing to do with Locke. I think if Fangio had it his way, Locke would have been traded and wouldn't even be on the team anymore. He still thinks that Teddy's his best chance to win. And honestly, at this point, it doesn't matter.
I can call him for that. I don't know. I don't know. Clearly George Payton obviously isn't like trying to put pressure on him to start Locke either. So Locke's not in the future.
Well, do you think he might?
What's that? No, I don't think he would. Like, I think it maybe would have come up by now if George Payton felt that way about Locke. But I do not think Locke will be on the Denver. I don't think our quarterback next year or our backup quarterback is on our roster.
No, not at all
for next year.
I'll
be honest though, even with Drew Lock, I think Drew Lock would have at least attempted to make the damn tackle.
Oh, you kidding me? Of course you would.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
And that's what I don't understand is, Locke had Rich Scangarello, lit the freaking league on fire, won 4 out of 5 games. The only game he'd lost was at Kansas City in the snow.
Yeah.
And then we changed coordinators and, his play just goes downhill. And then we pick up Teddy Bridgewater and, he's going to be the savior. Can we bring Rich Scangarello back if Drew Lock is going to be on the team? Because I feel, this is just my feeling, but I feel like there was a connection and a gel there, as Ayla would say.
Yeah,
she would say that.
Yeah. It's like when we got Shermer, I think a lot of people were a little excited about that. He had more experience than Scangarello. I mean, has the 49ers offense really given us that much confidence? Because that's where he's back at, and it's not like they looked amazing with him leading them there.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. There's just too many damn variables to go around. I mean, I said it on the pregame. I feel that we have the talent to beat any team in this league. It's just a matter of, are we going to get up and show up, or are we going to get up and then still, mentally be at home in bed sleeping?
Yeah.
Right. Well, they proved that they have the talent to beat any team in this league. Look at the Cowboys. If you can beat the Cowboys the way you did, you can beat any team in this league. It's just, like you said, Rob, you actually have to show up to the game first.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And, and the thing is with Locke, everybody's like, oh, he's dancing and he's trying to be flashy and shit. But you know what? We were winning games. Well, granted, he wasn't doing it all the time. I get it. But that I feel like Baki here in the chat said that Locke might bring a spark to the team. In the beginning, I felt like he did that, and I was like, that's a quarterback I can get down with. Like, let's go. Right. And then we shifted courses, and I have no further explanation other than that.
Joey B, definitely appreciate your confidence in us that any three of us could have made that tackle yesterday. And you know what? Yeah, not just could have, but if I'm the leader of the team, if I'm the quarterback and I'm the leader of the team, you're damn straight. I am going for that tackle. I'm at least going to try.
You got to at least look like you're making that play.
Right?
Like you're trying. Come on, man.
I wouldn't even be so mad if he would have at least tried and missed. All right, well, he gave it a shot.
You're not expecting an amazing tackle from the quarterback.
No.
But you can't do what he did. He just lost all confidence. Going back to basically how we started the show.
Yeah.
The guy was running by and he was like, nah, it didn't work.
Yeah. Okay, guys, time for some closing thoughts. And really quickly, remember everyone, check out our other content, the Monday night show after Monday Night Football, Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Mountain Time, pregame and halftime shows. This postgame podcast and the pregame podcast as well. Make sure you give us a follow and a like on all those different places. Give us a 5-star review. That definitely helps us out a lot. Tell your friends about us. We're less than 25 subscriptions away on YouTube from being able to name our link. So it actually is like shareable and I can just tell people easily what it is. But yeah, so let's do some closing thoughts. And I do appreciate all of our listeners who are sticking with us. We do this show for you all. This is why Orange Weekly was started, and it doesn't matter how bad the Broncos get. We're going to be here no matter what. But John, start with you, man. What do you think?
Well, I will say maybe the only positive from that game yesterday was that I can't think of like a major injury. Am I missing a major injury that happened in that game?
No, a lot of Eagles players went down. Especially in the second half, I'm thinking because of cramps, but I think we escaped with basically no injuries,
which is never good.
I think Browning's back started bothering him.
Yeah, I think he went out.
I forgot about Browning.
But other than that, I think that was it.
Yeah. So, hey, there's one positive. And having this bye week, I think we're going to get quite a few people back from injury. I know Bowles probably I thought he was going to play yesterday.
Yeah.
Sucked that he couldn't. Putting 2 backups in at the tackle position, never great. And we know Chubb is getting closer and closer to coming back as well. So hopefully we get to see more guys out on the field when the Chargers come around in 2 weeks. But other than that, let's just get healthy. Let's put freaking something on the field that's worth watching in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Rob, what about you, man?
Take the extra time. Everybody get healthy. I agree with John on that fact. But Coach Fangio, all the other coaches, put the time in and put together a competent game plan that anybody can follow, because apparently y'all are not doing it. This will be 1 week where I don't have to yell and scream at my TV. My neighbors don't have to think that I'm nuts. Thank you for my neighbors not calling the police, just realizing I'm yelling at a football game. But yeah, let's take the extra time. We know who our opponents are, let's start, putting together a competent game plan, I know it's not Halloween, but as Kevin alluded to in previous shows, let's show up as a competent fucking coaching staff and let's try to gain, let's try to squeak a few wins out of the second half of the season. Are we going to win them all? No. But for the love of God, at least try, Teddy Bridgewater.
Hashtag stand by Teddy. It doesn't matter what he does. That's what I'm calling him from now on.
Hashtag stone feet Teddy.
We got Richie up in here from the Mile High Roundtable podcast. Y'all can check them out as well. Pretty good. He beat me to it. Rob, they still think you're nuts. I agree, but I am too, so I can say that. It's okay.
And that's why we're all here.
And that's why we're all here, right? Yeah, so again, 6,000 no-shows. Definitely expect that to be over 10,000. I think it's going to be the weekend after Thanksgiving. There's just no incentive to go to the game.
I can't believe we had 6,000 no-shows after the game we had against Dallas.
Yeah. And that was with all the Philly fans that were there. There were a lot of Philly fans there. And there were still 6,000 empty seats.
Feels like there were more fans in Dallas.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Pretty much.
Words of Charles Barkley. That was terrible.
Terrible. But I wouldn't even be surprised if we get back to the 12,000 mark that we saw on Halloween. So, it's the fan bases. Look, that's a lot of people that aren't buying stuff at the store, the concession stands, the food, the beer, all that stuff. And that hurts. And so, from a business standpoint, George Payton's looking at that and saying, yeah, we're losing a shit ton of money. We're going to start from scratch. Right. If there was ever any chance of us keeping Bridgewater.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Keeping Bridgewater because he's only on a 1-year contract, but this draft class of quarterbacks is absolutely terrible. Right. You're not going to find a starter, at least a long-term starter out of this draft class. So, there was a discussion of, well, would we bring him back for one more year? Just, to kind of as a holdover. I think at this point, the answer is no.
Again, take him as a backup. If he's going to be a game manager as a backup quarterback, yeah, I'm okay with that. Maybe as a temporary backup. I don't want him on the team though. If we are giving up on Locke, which by all accounts seems like we are. But
right, and I think at this point, George Payton's going to be wiping the house. He's going to pretty much be offering anybody up on the trading block of for draft picks and players and stuff. So, it's
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, you never know, man. You never know. This team has a lot to. It's going to look very, very, very different next year, which thinking is a good thing. It could get worse than this, guys. It really could. We could be Lions fans. I don't think it's going to get worse. Obviously, it's going to be a rough couple of years as we rebuild. I'm going to trust in George Payton and see what coach he hires because he will be hiring a coach without an owner. The ownership's probably not going to be in place until like the summertime, April, May, June time frame at the earliest. So he's going to be deciding on the coaching, the head coach. But before they get there, so there's a lot that's going to happen this offseason. That's going to be interesting to see, but. Either way, it's still fun to talk about football in general. I'd rather be talking about this now than, being in the middle of off season and nothing to talk about. So, yeah.
This has to be though the best record we've had in the last 3 years at this point in the season.
It's the first time since 2016 that we're at 500 at the midway.
We're already talking about how the season's lost. It's sad.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah.
The one positive, Kevin, about less fans for us against the Chargers, that just means the beer lines are going to be shorter for me and you.
Yeah, that's true.
And Rob, when he wants to get a $20 ticket and drive out.
Yep. You'll spend more on gas or airfare than you will on the ticket, the Broncos ticket. Yeah, so, true. But
do you sleep at the stadium,
bro? I'll sure. I don't even care.
Early, man.
I'm not gonna be surprised, Kevin, when we're walking up and we just see Rob on the side just sitting there.
Just a little tent.
What's up, guys?
Rob's here. Rob. Really quickly, Richie, I do want to get your question in here at the very end. So you mentioned ownership. Given there seems to be a talk of mass coaching changes without ownership being in place by then, do you see a bad hire if they fire Fangio? So one, minus the unforeseeable of us actually winning out more or less and steamrolling through the AFC West, which I'm not putting my money on that. Even these awesome DraftKings bets that are happening, nice plug there. I still wouldn't put my money on that. Fangio's,
you gave yourself props immediately after saying
right. That was good. I like that one. I don't see Fangio staying. So, if Fangio's gone, it's going to be up to George Payton to make the hire. We can't wait until the ownership gets in place for them to sign off on it. Now, it might be one of those situations when, while they're waiting for the paperwork to be finalized, it's an unofficial owner in place. He might be talking to them and saying, hey, here's what I'm doing, and already collaborating with them, just in an unofficial capacity. I don't know, but yeah, so you're going to see that happen before the ownership's in place. But there is,
as long as we don't try to hire Urban Meyer.
Yeah. And I do see,
I don't think we have to worry about that.
Yeah. He's going to be
hired
partying up in
Fangio,
Ohio,
didn't we?
God, jeez.
We went that on LA and Ellis, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it comes back to what you said a few minutes ago, Kevin. Like you said, you have faith in Peyton. That's really the only person we can have faith in this organization right now.
Right. And I think Elway's going to be gone too.
Which, I'm pretty pessimistic overall about this organization. So,
and you should be.
He's really the only one that we can say maybe I like most of the moves that he's made so far. So maybe he can make us relevant again. I don't know.
Right.
Like grasping for straws here.
Right. But I even see Elway stepping out. I mean, he's kind of already 1 foot out the door. This was kind of a transitionary role, the way he demoted himself up. And Ellis has already said he's going to be gone. So it's pretty much going to be up to George Payton to make that decision on his own. So
he's like a lone wolf there in that front office.
Yeah. So for all those who are watching and more comments are coming in, we're going to have to call it though. Make sure you join us on Tuesday nights. We'll be back Tuesday night for Bourbon Broncos No BS. Jason will be live a little bit here on Monday nights for his Orange Weekly After Dark show, which starts after the Monday night football game. So again, thanks everyone. Thanks Jon and Rob. If anybody missed the Standby Teddy rants that I think we each had a pretty good rant. I'm probably going to grab some clips and probably for the Tuesday show, I'm just going to take
are we doing that for the full first half of that show?
No, I don't know about yours. I'm definitely going to take mine and just play that so I don't have to say it all again.
It's like Kevin's like, I ain't taking yours, Rob. You cuss way too damn much. I have every right to.
So you'll see it tomorrow night on the Tuesday show as well. But okay, guys, again, thanks for everything. Thanks for listening. Thanks for subscribing. And with that, I think it's time we sign off, as always, with a very strong Go Broncos.
Go Broncos.
Take care, everyone.
Do what I like, yeah, do what I like, yeah, do what I like. Sipping goose, if it's right, and I go with the flow, yeah.